You look at your friend's title, their money, their lifestyle, and you feel behind. So you chase status, take jobs you don't respect, and buy things you can't afford just to look successful. But underneath all of it, nothing is actually built to last. No real foundation, no margin for pressure, and when life hits, and that always does, most people collapse. In this video, I will show you why this happened in your 20s, why status is the wrong game, and how to build a foundation that does not break when real weight is applied. I spent most of my 20s building the wrong thing. From the outside, everything looks great. Good job, good title, checking the boxes everyone said I was supposed to check. I was doing everything right. But inside, I was exhausted, anxious, running on fume. I kept chasing the next promotion, the next milestone, the next thing that would finally make me feel like I have made it. And guess what? Every time I got there, it felt empty, like I was standing on something that could crack at any moment. Then I hit a wall, not a dramatic breakdown, just a quiet realization that I could not keep up, that I could not keep going like this. The pace was unsustainable. The goal wasn't even mine. I have been building someone else's version of success on a foundation that could not hold it. That's when I started learning about how we actually build things that last. An engineering and defense system and real war application where failure is not an option. And I realized most people build their lives like cheap cars. Shiny paint, nice rim, impressive from the outside, but underneath, rust, weak frame, parts that were never designed to last. The stuff that actually matters are focus, resilient, integrity, real skill. That is the chassis. That is the frame. And if you don't build that first, everything else is just decoration on a structure that's going to fail. So that's what I teach now. Not how to look successful, but how to actually be built for the long haul. We're going to rebuild your vehicle from the frame up. Here's the 3-phase chassis integrity protocol. Phase 1, the bill of material. In manufacturing, everything starts with a BOM, a bill of material. It is the list of every component that goes into building something. And there are 2 types of parts. OEM parts, which stand for original equipment manufacturing. These are the real deal, designed for the system, built to last. Aftermarket parts. These are cheap add-on. They make the car look cool, but they are not built to spec. They are just cosmetic. Most people are building their life with aftermarket parts. The VP title you want because it sounds impressive, the car you can't really afford, the relationship that looks good on Instagram, the career path your parents pick for you. These are bolt-on. They are not load-bearing. And when pressure hits, they're the first thing to fail. Here's a tactic, the component audit. I want you to look at your goals, all of them. The job you're chasing, the lifestyle you're building towards, the milestone you think you need to hit. And for each one, ask yourself, is this an OEM part or an aftermarket part? Does this goal come from my actual values, my long-term vision, my soul? Or is it cheap add-on designed to impress other people? My parents, my friends, stranger on the internet? So here's the test. If a goal relies primarily on external validation, it's an aftermarket parts. And if you still want it, even nobody ever knew about it, it might be an OEM part. The action. Scrap the aftermarket parts. Remove them from the build. They are just dead weight. They are making your vehicle heavier without making it stronger. Only build with OEM spec. If it doesn't serve the core mission, your core mission, it doesn't get bolted on. Phase 2, rated duty cycle. So phase 2 is all about duty cycle. In engineering, Duty cycle is the percent of time a machine can operate at full load without overheating. Some machines can run at 100% all day, while others overheat after just a few minutes. So here's the question. What's your duty cycle? Be honest. Most people have a duty cycle of about 15 minutes. You sit down to do real work, the hard stuff, the stuff that actually moves the needle. And after 15 minutes, your attention engine starts overheating. You get uncomfortable, restless. Your brain starts looking for an escape. So you shut down, check your phone, open a new tab, scroll for a bit to cool off. And then you wonder why you can't seem to make progress on anything meaningful. The problem isn't motivation, it's thermal capacity. You haven't trained yourself to run hot. The moment things get uncomfortable, you bail. Here's the tactic. Duty cycle training. We're going to expand your capacity to operate under loads. Train it like a muscle. Week 1, 30 minutes of focused work. No phone, no distraction, pure output. Then a 5-minute cool down. Week 2, we're going to push it to 45 minutes. Then week 3, push it to 60 minutes. Week 4 and beyond, keep pushing. The goal is to build what engineering call a continuous duty rating, the ability to run at high output for 3 to 4 hours without mental failure. Here's the truth. The person who can focus intensely for 4 hours will always outperform the person who overheat every 15 minutes. Always. It is not about working more hours. It's about building the capacity to actually use the hours you have. Phase 3, fuel filtration. Phase 3 is all about the fuel filtration. The most powerful tank engine in the world, the gas turbine, can be destroyed by dirty fuel. Put sand in the tank and the whole system fails. It doesn't matter how powerful the engine is. And your brain works the same way. Information is not power. Information is fuel. And most of you are running on contaminated fuel. TikTok, Twitter drama, 24-hour news cycle, gossip, outrageous content, comparison culture. This is high sediment fuel. It clogs your mental filter with anxiety, with fear, comparison, and noise. You wonder why your brain feels foggy? Why you can't think clearly? Why you're always stressed about things you can't control? That's because you're filling your tank with slug. Here's the tactic, the low information diet. I want you to install a filter. Be ruthless about what you let into your head. Unsubscribe from the drama. Mute the accounts that make you feel worse about yourself. Delete the apps that don't educate, inspire, or move you forward. Here's the rule. If the information doesn't help the vehicle move towards its destination, it doesn't enter the tank. This is not about being uninformed. It is about being intentionally informed. Choosing your output instead of letting the algorithm choose for you. The quality of your thinking depends on the quality of your input. Protect the fuel supply. I want you to do something right now. Look at your live resume. The things you're chasing, the goals you have set, the version of success you're building towards. And here's your challenge. Find one thing, just one, that you are pursuing, only because it looked good, only because other people will be impressed, only because it fit someone else's definition of success. That is an aftermarket part. It is weighting you down. It's taking resource away from the things that actually matter. And I want you to drop it. Drop it today. I know that's hard. I know it might feel like quitting or giving up. But stripping away that stuff that doesn't serve you isn't failure. It is engineering. It is making room for what actually matters. Here's the truth nobody wants you to hear. The audience doesn't care. The people you're trying to impress, they're not going to be there when you break down on the side of the road. They're not going to help you rebuild when the frame cracks. They are scrolling past you in half a second, worrying about their own lives. So, stop building for them. Build for you. Build something that you can actually hold the weight of your ambition. Build a life that works when nobody's watching. That's the chassis. That is the foundation. That's what lasts. The paint job can come later, but if the frame is weak, nothing else matters. I want to see who's building for the long haul. Comment chassis below if you're done chasing status and ready to build something real. If you're stripping away the aftermarket parts and reinforcing the frames. I want to see who's doing the real work. And if this shifts something for you, if you needed to hear this, hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We are building a community of people who are done with structural fraud and ready to build life that actually lasts. And your support helped us reach someone else who's been chasing the wrong things. And there are a lot of us out there. Build the frame, forget the paint. Force strong and thrive on, my friends.